guys, Rivet here. Welcome back to another vlog. Hope you guys are doing well, taking care of yourselves. This is attempt three at doing this. Tried Sunday, Monday, and today is Tuesday. Fingers crossed this one works. Sunday I had an amazing day. I went out, took a long walk, went across the bridge. Weather was nice. It was +5, I think. And it was good. It felt good. But the weather report said windy. And I looked out, I'm like, I don't see any wind. Went and walked all the way down to the bridge. Got about halfway across and got hit with the wind. And it didn't let up for like an hour. So whatever was going on, I got it square in the face. So I tried to record, but I hit a spot where it was not windy, because I thought when I got across the bridge, it'd be fine. Got a good spot, no wind, got everything set up, started to walk, boom, smacked in the face with it. So I scrapped it. And I kept walking, trying to think, it's like, oh, eventually we'll get to a spot that's nice. Nope, 3-hour walk. I got some time-lapse video with the 360 camera of me walking, so that'll be something. That's all I got. Then yesterday, I went out for the walk, and for whatever reason, this camera was set to slow mode. So I had the vlog done. I get home and it was there was no audio on it. So I recorded here, but it wasn't recording to the camera. And I tried to, speed up the footage and all that. Nothing worked. I was like, oh, screw it. So I'm good. We're good. We're making a video today. So see if I can get myself in frame. But yeah, it's been an interesting few days for me. So in the last vlog, I did mention that I was looking at Insta360 had a new phone gimbal that was coming out. And I'm happy to say one is being shipped to me. I will not say how or why, but we'll see once it gets here. Someone reached out to me about it, so we will see. But anyway, I got a tracking number. We'll see if it's coming. If I don't get it, I'll end up buying one, but I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I am looking forward to trying to vlog with my phone. I got the two phones. I have the the Samsung, dear God, the Google Pixel 6a, and I've got an older iPhone SE, the 2020 version, I think it's called. So, but both do 4K. They both will do fine. I'm okay with it. I'm not fussed one way or the other. But this video is looking awfully dark. This should be fun. Last one, I did an HDR and it was all blown out. I tried to adjust some of it in post, but I don't know. I don't know if this camera just is acting funny. We will see if it actually doesn't reset and do itself properly. I will factory reset it for the next one. But then again, I am walking in a wooded area at a weird time of the day. I had a early day today. Usually I do these Wednesdays. As I mentioned, I booked off Wednesdays for the month. There was a conflict for this Wednesday, so I had to move it to Tuesday instead, which I don't care. Tuesday, Wednesday, any day, I don't care. So I got off early today, which I was kind of cool with because today is a warmer day. The rest of the week looks pretty shitty. Weather-wise, we're getting more snow and sleet and rain and mishmash. And today it's like 10 degrees out. Like, I'm hot wearing the layers I've got on, which is weird for me. But yeah, was paying attention to some of the tech stuff going on and saw that E3 was canceled, which I get. I understand it. I think gaming conferences like that are a bit of a dinosaur. And especially the ones where you go and mill around. And E3 was always meant to be more of a professional one. And then they started opening it up to regular people. And there were still things behind closed doors. And it was more industry related. So, and I get why the gaming companies are not going to invest money to go to those shows when they can put on their own things and do their own online thing. And, you know, there's plenty of other options. Streaming it is a fairly decent way to get your thing. And there's still packs. I mean, so, and those I actually get. I like the indie conferences. Those ones make sense to me. But, you know, the big budget, you know, don't have, I don't have, as I say, don't have a horse in the race, so I don't really care. But I'm okay. And just paying attention to the tech in general. And it's just stupid, to be honest. I have seen so many reports of problems with things. And like, I don't get the pricing of things. And I don't know why tech has gone so expensive. I get it. I know it's tied to the whole crypto thing. And the companies are used to making money. So that's where they set the bar. But as far as I'm concerned, they're all tone deaf. If they think that in the current economy, those kind of prices are sustainable, they're idiots. I mean, even seeing a report yesterday that Apple, their sales were way down from the year before, which, again, kind of understandable considering, you know, the times, you know, not in the midst of the pandemic and that boom. But yeah, there was one report that the company that processes the silicon for them for the M2 hasn't had anything new from them in 2 months. So I was like, oh, that's a big deal. If Apple is not producing their silicon, yeah, things are tight. But again, that's another company that has priced themselves into a bit of a niche market. The Mac Mini was the very first time I've seen them present a reasonable price product-ish. I think the product itself was at a good point, but the upgrades were just ridiculous. I will never forgive a company for soldering on the storage. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. And the memory, I kind of get that somewhat. But to charge what they do to upgrade from 8 to 16 gigs of RAM, it's ridiculous. I just don't get it. I don't get a lot of things in today's society anyway. I've even seeing NVIDIA doing a report that, crypto is useless for everybody, blah, blah, blah. We don't like crypto. Crypto is bad. Meanwhile, they were raking it in hand over fist, selling video cards directly to miners in the middle of that fiasco. And so they created the monster that they're dealing with now. And I don't have any sympathy for them. None. I don't have any sympathy for any of these companies. Like, I don't have a favorite. I use a lot of AMD product. That's purely for economical reasons. Like, I am not necessarily cheap. I'm frugal. And I will purchase things that, like, when it comes to processors and video cards and things, I won't spend exorbitantly for them. Mind you, I did end up buying an upgrade during the middle of that nightmare. So I'm not, I don't think I got screwed. I paid the 6700 X2 that I have. I probably paid like $150 at the time, too much for it. But at the time when I got it for like $200 less than what it was going for. So I still got a good deal for it relative to what it was, but I still got screwed over relative to what it should have been. But, you know, I had to do something at the time, so that's what I did. But, yeah, just silly. And I have no idea where we're going to be in the next few years. All I'm seeing is the push for the tech to become faster and faster and bigger and hotter and hotter. And I don't get that push when we have so many things that we should be focusing on. Energy consumption, when costs are going high, they should be looking at ways to put out a product that gives you a bump in productivity, you know, but also saves you exponentially in power. I think that's one of the reasons we're having these, you know, going from 7 to 4 nanometers and all that. You can put out the same amount, less power. So give it a little bit of a boost. Don't push it crazy. I think that's what we've seen a lot, is that people are getting the chips and, you know, underclocking or undervolting them a little bit. And they're getting much more efficiency out of them. And that's good, I think. I mean, the dumbest thing I've seen lately, which I've been leery of for a while, was video RAM on video cards. NVIDIA's been all over the place with it. Like, they'll put out a 12 gig card, and they'll come up with a new variant that's 8 gigs and charge you more. And they don't have any consistency with memory on their cards at all. Even their newer cards are coming out with limited RAM. I think right now, 12 or 16 gigs should be the minimum on a video card. And it was proved recently with The Last of Us PC port. Mind you, not a great port from my understanding. I've not played it, but everything I have seen, problematic with it. But one of the big things with it is that it needs more than 8 gigs of RAM. And they've been showing it time and time again, is that the video cards that are able to produce decent frames are the ones that have more than 8 gigs. And NVIDIA is still putting out video cards now in the 40 series with 8 gigs of RAM. It's like, it's not going to do it. You know, there is that little bit of thing of like smart memory, so it'll pull off some of the, you know, off your system resources, but it's not the same. You have to have the RAM on the cards. And it's not like the RAM is terribly expensive. It's like, why are you cutting corners on that kind of thing? I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not in charge of any of these companies, so I'm just a dude that plays video games, pays attention to a little bit of the tech, and gets frustrated at the stupidity in the world. I mentioned today is Tuesday. I am purposefully staying away from online, the computer, everything today. Everything happening in the States this moment. Again, not getting political, not making a statement on it. It's just that circus that's happening I'm saying it's a circus from the media side, is just mind-numbing. The amount of coverage of nothing. I don't get it. I mean, it's a person being charged with a crime. That's it. Why the big spectacle? I don't get it. It's like, what makes one person, worthy of more clicks than the other? I don't get it. Again, not my thing. Not paying attention to it. But I will say is that I did see this kind of thing start in the 80s. Back in the 80s, when President Reagan at the time was shot, was the first time that I recall there being this continuous news cycle. The 24-hour feed of the news. And what I remember from it was that because they needed to fill the time, it was full of speculation. And again, I was a child, so I didn't understand what the speculation was. I'd been under the assumption that news was, the truth. So there's all this stuff that kind of happened that I didn't quite understand later on that was not factual. So my brain was clouded with junk, to be, clear about it. And then that kind of attention to an event or a single thing started to become more and more mainstream. So now, something that can be pretty much banal is now ridden for days on end. And it's just a constant chatter of nonsense to me. Like, give me the facts, tell me the story, and then leave it alone. I'm good. I don't need to keep hearing it over and over again. Just by you saying it 100 times does not necessarily make it true. So, whatever. And then again, left or right, doesn't matter. The same kind of insanity prevails, and it's just mind-numbing. I will say this, my father and I were in Europe was it 2008 when the housing market thing and the banking collapse happened in the US. We were in, I think we were in London or Ireland. We were heading to Ireland anyway. And we'd heard bits and pieces of it in the US before we left. When we got there, we got to watch the news from a completely different viewpoint. And it was fucking eye-opening. Because it was a different opinion. It was a different form of news. And they were approaching things from a global perspective and viewing the United States. Whereas when you're in the United States, it was just a constant focus on, it was just weird. But I had a much better appreciation for the situation by being overseas. And I felt like I had a much better grasp of what was going on than I would have if I had stayed in the US and listened to the news. So, yeah. And I don't know how much better Canada is. I try not to pay attention to our news and stuff anymore. And didn't mean to get onto that ramble. But I just wanted to say is that staying clear of it all today because I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. One thing I wanted to bring up, something I've been enjoying. There is a gentleman who's been streaming as a small channel. His name is Joe, the editor, and he works for Paul's Hardware. He does his video editing for Paul, and he's got his own channel. And we've become friends online, and he'll do streams on Sundays, and then he'll invite us along. Sometimes he does solo games, sometimes he wants to do, with a group. And so he's kind of invited some of us along, and it's been a treat. And it's been fun for me, because I've done a ton of streaming But I've never just been not the focus, you know? And it is so refreshing to just be a nobody. So like nobody there knows who I am. Nobody, you know, is expecting anything of me. I'm just a guy playing video games with Joe. It's fucking cool. But I really appreciated what he's been doing with his channel, because he's just finding his feet and, you know, finding his voice, and it is not necessarily easy all the time. And but he's kind of doing a variety of things, and I've been enjoying it, especially because of the fact that he just does this thing and is and he's just doing it for fun. Like, he's already got his full-time gig. You know, he's a video editor. He's got his stuff he does. But his stuff for himself, talk about his day, talk about some video editing tips, movies he saw, places he's gone. It's cool. And I dig it. So, if you're interested, check him out. I dig him. Nice guy. Super chill. Potty mouth. Fucking love that. I have one myself. But again, I like that raw aspect of people. So sick and tired of so much online that is not genuine. So many people that are putting on that false face, that always positive attitude. You know, the world is not perfect. I think we all have our foibles and things we have to deal with. And I appreciate when people share those things. At least I do. Like, it's me. But again, I'm 55 this year. So I think my the amount that I can handle for that stuff is becoming less and less and less. And as social media is focusing on those little snippets and people just craving that attention, I'm okay with them having it. Go have your attention. Go do your thing. Go be famous. Go do whatever you want. I'm cool. Just don't ask me to come along for the ride, because it's not my thing. I'm not into TikTok. I'm not into shorts. I'm not into super happy, fun time stuff. I just want real people talking about stuff. I think that's what I like about YouTube for as long as I have. Mostly been good, real people. But anyway, I'm good. I'm out. I've had enough fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the rant. But anyway, I'll see you guys soon in our next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.